Hi everybody, welcome to Hacking on the Internet Computer. My name is Hans. I'm an engineer at DFINITY, and I'm here to talk about all things related to the Internet Computer. And in the current series that we're working on, we are doing a blog engine called Journey, which will run on the Internet Computer with a front end and a back end. The back end is coded in Motoko, and the front end is pure Java. No, well, it's React. So it's in JavaScript with React. And so I just want to say welcome everybody. Today, last episode, we added a simple user editor, so people can be editors. And we added accounts basically, and we saw a little bit of the account management. Today, what we are going to do is, sorry, I am doing something here. Today, what we are going to do is have multiple kind of users. So we're going to have a user who can be an administrator, a user who can be an editor, and a user who can be a simple reader. And this will show us some features of Motoko, for example, variants, which can be used for this kind of things. So let's get started. I don't have anything else for the presentation. And just switching up to... So, all right. So where we were last time was... let's start Visual Studio Code. And where we were last time was mostly in Motoko, and we're gonna work a little bit more in Motoko today. We're gonna show a lot of the Motoko language, and not so much JavaScript, which is a nice change for some people. And essentially, we add a list of users. And when we get user, we can set admin only once. So this code will be set at some point to the controller. For now, we're just doing this because it's a simple hack locally, but we'll show more later. The install process has ways to set whoever install is the owner of the canister, and so it's we could set the owner, the admin, to that identity, to that key, and then set user role for now just takes a simple principal, which is an identity on the Internet Computer, and sets it as an editor essentially. And that's it. It's very simple. Create user, just create a user with editor equal false. This only works if set user to editor is only if isAdmin is true. And so get the user list, and new entry can only be done if the user is an editor. So we won't learn about traps right now, errors. There is errors. We could error instead of returning 0, but for now, that's probably fine anyway. And also, like, we don't need to return the ID at all here. So really, like, so let's do the first change. You know, IDs for entries should not be mentioned anywhere really. There's no reason for it. List users, probably a good function for debugging, but we don't want to make that public, so we'll see about that later. List entries, so let's add this here. And so because we changed the public interface, we need to change this. So instead of list, it's going to be list entries. We're just doing some housekeeping here. Get entry. So same thing. It's used somewhere. We need to change that. Oops. entry. There you go. And that's it. Yeah, at some point in the future we'll add tests. I would like to add tests actually to this project, so we'll do that maybe next episode. Who knows? If we're doing great here, that would be good. So we still have our types here with an internal entry which has the author as a principal instead of a user, because this is the public API essentially. So I don't know if that's possible. I haven't seen anybody like tell me like, hey, you should do it this way. It would be nice to do like internal entry and then author is a optional user. Or actually author is always a user. There you go. So this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, and this doesn't work. Of course. Yeah, that just doesn't work. So, learn from your mistakes. At least we have like proper completion here. The other thing that we could do for some housekeeping is make this non-optional. I mean, if there is no author, we should not return the entry. The entry should be validated and deleted. So what will happen here is internal oops, that's the TSX internal entry, and so there you go. Switch 8. So a case null. I'm sorry. And there you go. Wait, what? Oh boy. Yeah, we're starting to get into. So there's a filter, I think. Yes, there's a filter. There's a fold. There's a freeze, join, a map. There's no map filter. Oh, that's the thing. Okay. Oh, what's the issue here? Expected one of the. So I want to continue. I want to. Oh, there's no continue. Oh, because it's not. Oh my god. Yeah. So it's way simpler to do it when we can err. Actually, let me check the Motoko documentation website. So right here, Motoko language guide, errors. There you go. This chapter introduces use cases for the switch and try construct. But there is no way. Yeah, there's no documentation on error. And honestly, I haven't seen much discussion. I know it's there. I know it's planned, at least. Oh, language manual. There you go. That's what I want. There you go. Throw and error type. Throw expression as type error. So, is there an example? Apparently not. Okay. So throw error. I think that's how it works. Do not cover the value. So let's just shadow this. I don't even know if we can shadow actually. Okay, so misplaced throw. Oh, no, I'm pretty sure this is well placed. We'll abandon the idea really soon. Oh, I see. It needs to be in an async function. Okay. Well, we'll abandon the idea for now. There is a... Yeah. Oh boy. There is a way to filter, I guess, filter map, but for now this doesn't. So let's go back to our types and make this optional and keep it that way for now. ID exists, title, content. So we probably want to save on the bandwidth here, so maybe maybe the content is the first paragraph. So the header, let's call it the header. The header first paragraph of the entry. Okay, whatever. This works. This works. Okay. Content. Yeah. So new entry is fine. Internal entry is fine. There you go. Dot. So that's going to be header. Dot content. It's going to be a, there's going to be a string module. I hope so. Yeah, that doesn't exist. Oops. Sorry, I'm not used to. It's F12, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's go to app and there you go. Is there a way to open? Oops, is there a way to open the list here and show where the file is, or do I need to code dfx? There you go. Okay. Nope, that's not the one I want. That's the JavaScript user library. The one I want is the stdlib. There you go. And so there's text, append text, and to iter. Well, that's a little bit. How do you split text? Let's go to the language manual. So I want a concatenation. Okay. So I know it's text. So the type char, the pattern. Oops. Object pattern, members, len, chars. primitives. Okay, so there's there's the len and the chars. So it's gonna be a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do anything here. Oh, actually, no. You know, let's just do entry header equal get header entry content. So I just want to do that in Motoko because it saves on the bandwidth. And so management, create user, get user list, new entry. So func entry header content text and return a text. So that text equal up, and then for loops, let I equals 0 while I is smaller than content len. Text text concatenate content dot chars I if well, actually let c equal this. If c equal \n break, and we return text. So apparently we can't break label L. Oh, okay. So label W and then break W. I'll let them select something. Okay, I'm gonna make a class out of entry at some point so that like this gets a little bit more structured. But for now, that's gonna do. So DFX build export DFX warning minus versions checks. Okay. Yes, this does not exist. Okay, so line 87. Oh, it's a function, of course. And this is a function too, so let's chars. Oh, okay. For C in chars. I'm not sure. There you go. Okay. All right. Remember, vars are for mutable, and let are for immutable. Oh, cannot concatenate. Okay, so the question now becomes, how do I type chart text. Yeah, and where is that from? Mm. There you go. Where's this? It's a compiler function, of course, but I want to get it from this, I guess. I don't think that's a thing, though. I don't think prelude is a thing. It is, but wait. Well, there's an assert. Maybe we could use that, but anyway. So I know for a fact that there is a there you go. There is a prim library. There's no definition of it. Let's try to see if it builds. Does it build? It builds. So chart to text is part of the primary library, which is so the documentation is wrong. Is it? No, that's not. But essentially, this is right. But there's no talk about prim. So let me ping the documentation team to it contains. Yes, thank you, Claudio. But oh, chart.toText. Oh, that would be interesting. Instead of like this, what you're saying is this should work. Where is that module here? Oh, that doesn't look. We'll try, but that doesn't look promising. Okay, type error, field to text does not exist, and type module is digit. So there's only one method exported from the char library. So I need to use prime and then char to text, basically. So just like that. Yeah. Yep. That's what I had. So that's what. Okay. And what this? Oh, yes. Here is what is it? Entry header. So it's all right. If you have any questions in the chat, Claudio is working on the language team, and he's great. I can't recommend talking to him enough. That being said, I think we're done here. So Okay, so if it's not \n, then if it's \n, then we break W. If it's not, then we keep adding characters to it. So that's the best that I can do to break a string in the middle, is it? I think it is. It's just conversion and array utilities. Yeah. So until I can actually have better string functions, like a method like this is what we can do. Okay. So that seems to work. The canister built, the Motoko built, and so the front end will build probably too. We don't have typing, so this may break in runtime, but you know, in the meantime. Oh yeah, actually, I still use content. So an entry IDL is going to be header. It's not going to be content. And so new entry. Wait. Actually, no. Oh yeah, you know what's the problem now? I'm bad. So header and then the content, which is optional in lists. So yes, because we use this for both listing entries and actual entries, I'm going to make the content optional so that we don't have to return the whole content of the entry when we return it. But no, that's content, and header is always there. But essentially, when you create a new entry, you want to create it with the content. When you get an entry, you should get the content out of it. But when you list entries, you get an entry summary, and the entry summary should use the header. There you go. And it actually doesn't need to break anymore on the front end. So that's great. That simplifies our code significantly, because now we're bringing it on the back end. And there's one missing piece, which is when I show the actual entry. Oops, there you go. I show the content, which is going to be an array. So I need to show content 0 or entry.header if it's not there. And now this entry header, and now my types needs to include the content too, which can be optional. And essentially, when I list entry, I'm going to put content to null. Little typo here. And when I get the entry, I'm going to end content equal e.content. Okay. Oh, this is optional, so I need to specify that it's an optional value. Okay. So I'm gonna run my local version of the internet computer here. DFX start. So allow, but I'm gonna kill my state. Apparently there was some errors reloading it. Not sure why. Oh, I did some local debugging stuff. So DFX Canister install all. Connection refused. That's because it's still booting. It's creating. The first time it creates its checkpoints and everything, it can take a few seconds. Once it's done, if I kill it and I restart it, it's going to be almost instantaneous. So that's good. So it started. And canister install. There you go. I've got my canister ID just here. So I'm going to go in Candid. right now. And I'm gonna set admin myself. All right. And so I'm gonna create a new user because I need to create a new user. So Hans, yeah, Hans L. Larson, and the text is yours truly. All right, I created the user. I'm gonna set that users to be an editor. Oh, it's a user. Oh, how did I did that? Oh, I list users, I guess. Yeah, and then I can use this. This seems to be a problem, so we should probably figure this one out and improve on this. But for now, I'm gonna list entry. Oh, all the entries, 15 entries, there should be empty. There you go. Sorry, the interface moved around and I didn't actually click on it. And so create a new entry. I'm gonna do that. Actually, this one I'm gonna do through the actual UI because it's easier. So my first entry. Hello everyone. This is the first entry on Journey with headers created and on the backend. This should not be visible in the list of entries. It should be when looking at the actual entry. Submit. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Okay. All right, so I need to fix something apparently. Is there a JavaScript? There might be a JavaScript. Yes! Invalid text argument 1. Okay, so there's a bug in the JavaScript somewhere. That was a, where's the new entry? There you go. If saving progress, submit, set saving true. New entry, author, title, content. Author, title, content. Oh, there's no author anymore. Ha ha ha. There you go. And new entry, no author here. Okay, so just DFX build and DFX canister install. Okay, I'm gonna remove the version. I'm using a non-release versions, and it's not. We're gonna release it. We're gonna release it soon, but for now it's not. So let's rebuild and save. All right, I need to do the dance of setting myself as admin. Call. There you go. Get the user list. Set create user Hans. My name. and then get the user list, copy the principal ID, set user role. Oh, it's 9:40 already. Wow, this went fast. Okay, so I'm gonna new entry this, make sure that it works. So I should only see ASD. Nobody should see this in the list. Then submit. Okay. And there you go. You don't see it. And if I go in there, you see it. We don't support Markdown. We don't support HTML at all right now. But we will at some point soon. And that's going to be a separate view. So now we're going to do user roles. Sorry. User as a role, which is of type user role. And this is a public type user role, a variant. So the way you use variants here is that you do you use the hashtag and a default user. So yeah, there you go. So all the errors. So let's go all the errors. So it's not editor anymore. It's role equal hashtag base. So because the system knows that role is of type the role is of type user role, then it won't show up. It doesn't need to do like user role dot type dot. Does that even work? I wonder. Yeah, that doesn't work, I think. So you just use the hashtag the same way you would use the question mark for optional. You use the hashtag for variants, and so this is a variant. Set user role is role equal. So new user is of type user. So for having good user. Okay, yeah. But essentially, what we're gonna do is we're going to what we're gonna do is we're gonna let anybody that is an admin to set the user role to any role, and so the role is role 0. Okay, and that's it. And so you can lock yourself out, so be careful. Although we don't really. Okay. Yeah, we don't really check if we check for different things if you're an admin, so you cannot lock yourself out entirely right now, but this is going to be the next step. We're going to do that today too. So last thing is, I think, no, this is not going to, yes. So switch. Okay, so new entry. So basically switch new.role. And the same as optional, you can say admin. I don't know if you can do this editor. Actually, in this case, we're doing negative checks. So if your base, actually, we should probably do this. Nothing in this case, and case else, basically, return. That way, when we add new roles, they'll automatically not be by you'll have to manually add them. So I think I need to add every cases like this. Seems to work. Do I have other squiggly lines? I don't think I do, but you never know. Oh. Claudio, who says that or else. Is that a thing? I don't think it's a thing. Oh, that looks like it would work. Oh yeah. Oh, that's cute. I'm just used to, you know, C++ double pipes, but this looks way better actually. And he's saying that or else here, or case or else. No, I don't know. You'll have to be more specific. All right, canister install or a single pipe. No, that doesn't seem to work. But that seems to work. All right. So let's go to Candid again. I should leave a tab open for this. Okay, set ourselves to admin. Create a user on cell at DFINITY.org. There you go. And now get the list of users to get my principal ID. And essentially now I have a little text box with admin, editor, or base. So now I can actually set anything I want here. And what I want is to be an admin. I already am an admin, but you know. So the way variants are passed on the IDL is ID equal the principal name, and then the role is a type variant with base equal null. And so so you can see that what I'm setting is variant admin equal null. So I'm setting a value to null because it's the simplest value we can get. But it's basically like a record with a single entry in it that has null as a value. So let's see if I can create a new testing. And if I list the entries, I should see it. Yes, it's right there. And you can see that resolve my name properly to an admin. Okay, so now let's remove this field because it's not necessary anymore. And the way we're going to do that is basically get user ID. So we're going to get the user, and if basically if we find the user for this principal and return user.role equal admin. That's it. That should work. That's an interesting one. Operator not defined for operand types. Okay. Which operator that is that? Oops. Is there a is? Oh. Switch. It's the same. It's the same as optional. You need to put it in a switch case, but essentially, I'm just gonna say something here. Hopefully, they can find a simpler syntax. I mean, this feels to me like it should work. I understand why it doesn't, because it's a pattern and not exactly a value. Like admin is not a value. Although it is. I don't know. Role is not a value. I'm not exactly sure here. But there you go. Because it's not like there's no operator equal for that. You cannot just check that it does. I hope at some point they can figure out like if x, like this should work in my opinion. I don't think it does, but it should. And then like this should work too. But right now you need to use a switch like that. Set admin is totally useless anymore, because what we're going to do is the first user is going to be the admin. So essentially what we're going to do is if entries len is 0, so let base. So what we're going to do is, in the case of the first one, is going to be the admin. And of course, can't name it the same. There you go. This should be like this. Why is this a problem? No, there's a semicolon. Cannot produce expected type. Huh. That's a new one. I wonder if I can just do oh, I need to ignore the result, but really like oh, should I do that? I guess I should do that. Set Claudio said to set a type annotation there. It's very useful to have you in the chat, Claudio, by the way, so stick around, please. Oh, yeah. And what he said, yes. Oh, because it's... I wonder, can I just do this instead? It feels better to me anyway, so... But for those of you who were wondering, what's going on here is that he was telling me roll 0 admin. So I was doing this, it's not, it's an assignment, and I need to assign it. Yeah, exactly. So there is a 10 seconds delay sometimes, so be patient when you ask me questions, and I'll answer them when I can. Okay, so where were we? I think that's it for this. There's no more squiggly lines here. Okay. DFX build should build. You know, sometimes I work with like 5 languages daily, so sometimes I'm like, can I do this? And I'm just remembering it from another language, and I can't. And so that's why I get confused sometimes. So I didn't like... this is like from Python mostly, and Rust does that. I'm glad that Motoko does that, but my first instinct is not to try it, because it's a language feature that I don't know if it works, basically. Okay, well, it seems like our interface is a little bit smaller, which is great, actually. There you go. There you go. So now if I list a user, I should be admin. I am admin equal null, which means that I can set a role for me. I can lock myself out, I said, with a based role. There you go. And now if I get the user list, I can't get anything because I'm not an admin. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that, I guess. But, you know, that's part of the job. Making mistakes. So, yes, we have 3 minutes. I just wanted to say that this is how you do variants. Variants are basically a way to set up like an enumeration. There's a little bit more to that than just enumerations, but we're going to see it a little bit later. What can be done, because we might add groups actually to users, and that would require some arguments to variants, which is great. Yeah, we saw how to add users, how to split a string in the header in Motoko, so that we save a little bit of time. What we could do while we have 2 minutes is add markdown to the project. Can I just install markdown to HTML? There you go. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so it also works in the browser, but that requires an ed. Ooh, there's an editor. Oh, there's a preview. Oh yeah, we'll do that. Okay, let's do that. I want to add markdown. And we have like 1 minute, so we'll just do that really quickly. And we probably want to fix the audit errors. Okay, so what we're going to do is essentially, we don't change anything in the back end. All the markdown rendering will be in the front end. So, what we're gonna do for the back end is entry header is gonna be a little bit different, because markdown requires 2 \n. So var first equal false. If first, then we break, else first equals true, and first equal false. So if there is 2 \n in a row, we break out of the loop. If there is only 1, we keep it and we keep going, because markdown treats as a paragraph separation is 2 \n in a rows and not just a \n. So the if we met the first \n, this is just basically an indication that we saw in the last character. And I need to do that. I'm not learning from my mistake. This is Python syntax, not Python Pascal, actually. I need to associate that in my head at some point. Okay, so what we're going to do is here, we're going to import markdown from markdown. There you go. Is there typing for this? Could not find declaration. So npm install @types markdown. This is a popular package. Should have a typing. It does not. So I'm gonna do something that you should never do. Never do that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do require. Oh, yeah. Declare. I'm so the reason I'm doing this here is that because so we use Webpack to build the front end, so we can do that here. It's nasty, don't do it, but we could, because we use Webpack, And so Webpack will see the required markdown, and it will pull the module itself in the thing. So this works. It's not pretty, but it does work. Now, what I'm going to do though is summary. I'm going to mark down that summary. .to HTML. And I think this is going to be escaped. I'm going to leave it like that for now. And if it's escaped, we're going to look onto how to unescape stuff in React. And we rebuild everything. So this should work. If it doesn't, it works. Okay. And so, all right. So I'm going to create a user, and so at DFINITY. I am now an admin. And I'm going to go in the non-Camden UI now because I can create a new entry. My new entry. This should be marked down. New paragraph. I don't know, tables. What? Oh, just some code. Function, some code. Alert 1. Okay. Okay. So there is an error. Okay, so what's going on here? S2HTML is not a function. Wait, I thought it was. Oh. That's how you notice an old package before the export default and import export and stuff like that. That's how you know it is an old package. So the good news is I need to reinstall everything. I don't know how that's the news, but you know, whatever floats your boat. And this, and then create a user. I am now admin. Oh. Oh yeah, right. Okay, and the new entry, and what I wanted is to copy this because I don't want to retype that. Markdown entry. Okay, so like I said, this is escaped. So now React on escape string values in JSX. Yeah. Okay, so that's not what I want. So escaping all the string are displayed in order to prevent XSS attacks, which, yeah, we do want to do that, but oh, double brackets, or okay, I'll you know what, I'll try it. I'm gonna just like that. Yeah, I think that's how you do it. Shh. Don't tell your user that. And also we'll make sure that we'll figure out like this is a big security issue because Markdown allows HTML to propagate through it, so you can actually do XSS in there. So insert like a script and then break users. But for the time being, and because we're 5 minutes over, but you see, it took me 5 minutes to add Markdown. So really, it's really easy. Create user, and then come here, change the canister ID, new entry, copy paste this part here. Oh. Object with keys. Oh, dangerously. Okay, so I need the dangerously set. Okay. Okay. So last. But not least, there you go. Okay, I should move this code to a function, but I don't care enough. There you go. And so Hans L at and whoops, new. Well, yeah, I know, because I have a new canister ID. New entry up. We save this. Up, submit. Et voila. The only thing that doesn't, so that looks like it works, right? Oh, I don't have bold, but oh, it's star star and not just star. So yeah, that works really great. So if I list entry, one entry, the only thing that I want to see is why did I not get a cut header? But this might be good for the next round. So I think that's it. I think that's, yeah, but backslash n, backslash r, backslash n, backslash or, backslash n. I need like 4 of them now. Oh, you know what? If, else, if. I'm gonna cheat a little. Actually, I don't even know why I'm doing this complicated like this. I'm just gonna ignore if c equal backslash r. I'm just continue w. I'm just gonna ignore them for the header itself. Last strip here. Okay, and if that doesn't work, then we'll just forget about Markdown. Forget about this week's. This is the last. Huh. Oh, I don't need, like, yeah. All right, I do not know why. I will completely admit that let's not pretend I didn't know. Sorry, guys. I knew why. I totally messed that up. If you frame freeze for a second, you'll find the error. But I'm kind of ashamed of this one, so I'm not gonna share it too much with you guys. Okay. There you go. This should be marked down, eh? So another new entry. And now what I want is really this here. There you go. Submit. All right, now this is bold, and this is italic, and this is a new paragraph that doesn't show up in the, and this is the some code block, and now I can do this, and I can create new users. We're gonna do the UI to create new users next week, and we're gonna do clean up the Motoko code next week, so that we have classes and modules for the user management aspect and everything. So thank you very much. This video is going to be on YouTube really soon, next week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on the 21st of May. Everybody, please stay safe. Stay at home where you have to. Wear a mask if you can't stay at home all the time. And just in general, be safe and keep coding. Keep using Motoko. It's really great language. All right. Thanks. Bye.